What is up, everyone? It's David. Welcome back to Graded MTG, where we talk about graded Magic the Gathering cards. Today's an awesome day. This is part 2 of the Saint Hung interview, where we talk about graded cards, reserve lists, MTGFinance, all that good stuff. Saint came out here to my place in Barrington, Illinois, and we sat down, had a conversation, and talked about all kinds of fun stuff. Really excited to bring content like this to you. If you enjoy content like this regarding graded cards, hit that subscribe button and join in the fun, because we're going to be talking about graded cards all the time here on Graded MTG, and I would love for you to be a part of it. All right, let's get right into the second episode. All right, Saint, the sage.
I'm not a sage, man. I just really like this stuff.
Let's talk about your collection. You obviously you see a ton of cards. You grade a lot of cards.
I buy a lot of cards.
Buy a lot of cards.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your collection. What are your favorite types of cards to collect? Maybe you have a favorite set, a favorite artist. I love Mark Teaton cards. I have a whole collection of just graded Mark Teaton cards.
Okay.
What's your thing? What do you personally like to collect?
I personally like to collect promos just for fun. Like, just for fun.
Promo cards?
Fun, just promo cards. Like I said, the Imperial Seal promo. All sorts of Sarah Angel, Sarah Avenger, all sorts of angels in general. Like, there was Akrama, there was Radiant
Archangel. Yeah.
Archangel, yeah.
Yep.
And
I have a Radiant Archangel in my BGS submission that I'm waiting to get back.
Oh, really?
There you go. Yeah.
Let me know how it goes,
Love
man. I
Radiant.
love collecting angels. Like for example, I graded, I think, I don't know, must have been a double-digit position of 25th anniversary convention Sarah Angel, the Japanese convention version.
Okay.
And obviously, because I mass graded it, I kept the best copy, that exists. So that's just for fun. For a hold is completely different. I do ABUR, and I almost exclusively do ABUR. I'm trying to consolidate and wind down just so that I only have ABUR. It was a 5-year process of me unwinding much of my standard and pioneer and modern collection, and I'm about 90 to 95% done with getting rid of those cards. And it's just out of the need of space. I live in New York, and in Midtown Manhattan, there's not that much square
comes
footage.
at a premium.
Yeah, space comes at a premium, and I've had multiple discussions. They're not discussions when your wife tells you what to do, are they?
No.
They're not discussions.
really.
They're strong suggestions.
Yeah.
Or else, somebody's on the couch or worse. So, yeah, I've needed to just wind down on volume. So I'm literally down to ABUR, and there's a lot of ABUR. I mean, even coming in here within my first year, I purchased over 1 million revised cards. And 1 million, I'm talking like, 1 million cards. Like 4 rows, 5,000 cards per 4 row. I've got,
Is that
200,
200. Yeah, one more
4
time.
rows.
200.
Yes, I've got multiples of 200 4 rows of revised cards. And I've, got a smaller position in Unlimited, but I thankfully have nearly a 6-figure unit position of Unlimited cards. And beta, I still have some beta. I'm down to maybe 500 beta cards, graded beta cards. And I've got thousands of raw. Actually, tell you a funny story. Between 2017 and 2019, I was just testing the market. So I didn't know anything about the market. I hired, I paid some of my employees overtime to log in and research the PWCC price points of beta graded slabs.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally bought out much of the beta market because I was like, I watched a Rudy video and I was like, beta's underpriced. Let me just go buy 5,000 beta slabs. And I hired people. I was like, I'll pay you overtime. I'll buy you pizza. And then months later, like literally 9 months later, like other people in the collector groups are like, Saint, you don't have to hire people. There's this thing called Gixin are there sniper tools that you could literally just input in, and you put in your 300, bids, and that's it. And I was like, oh, I'm a goddamn boomer. This is horrible. I could have saved so much labor, but that's beta. It's taken me about 3 years to unwind more than 75% of my beta position, and then there's alpha. Alpha, there was a sizable collection. Did you hear about the collection in Seattle? The big collection that was on Facebook 2 to 3 years ago?
No, not that long ago. No.
No, not that long ago. It was by a very prominent.
I wasn't on Facebook that long ago.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
no.
It was a prominent alpha collector. He was a fisherman in Seattle that had collected alpha and spent much of his disposable income in alpha since 1993. And
Goodbye.
yeah, he had about 40,000 alpha cards, and he had 4 complete graded sets of alpha.
Wow.
I had orchestrated that transaction, and am now holding the lion's share of that transaction. Still.
Really?
So yeah.
So a graded alpha set?
Multiple. There were about 4 entire sets plus about 1,000 loose slabs. No, more than 1,000 loose slabs. It was close to 2,500 slabs in total, and
Wow.
out of that set, I think there was about 900 gold labels out of 2,500, and there was mid 5 figures in raw cards. So I had to recoup my cost basis throughout part of it, but yeah, I've still held the majority of that collection. I was already an alpha enthusiast before that, so that was that's. I've never actually shown it on camera. I'm waiting for a good time on our Fabled Hunters Patreon to feature it.
Oh,
but, yeah. I've talked to Rudy about it. I don't think Rudy believes me. He knows who owned that collection or who accumulated that collection before I purchased it. But he's like, I'd love to see it. I'm like, come to New York anytime,
You will see.
and you'll see. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
So revised. I think everybody in the group knows I'm the largest holder of revised slabs ever, and I've helped populate and seed the revised graded population on BGS. I'm
Nice.
looking to continue doing that until.
Is that mostly BGS or PSA 2, or is that?
I purchased a whole bunch of PSA 10s, and they didn't cross over that well because I mean, you know about PSA and centering, and
Yeah.
some of the 10s are a little loose, right? You're not, even a PSA 10 will not guarantee a Beckett 9.5 in some cases
Nope.
because of the poor centering.
Centering, yeah.
Because of that 40-60 rule. Like, how would you let a 40-60 axis qualify as a PSA 10? I don't know why they didn't make their standards a little more strict. But I digress. Yeah, revised, unlimited, beta, and alpha. I've got the loose, Silver Age slabs. I've got loose, 4 Horsemen slabs. But thankfully, a lot of my raw cards, I've gotten rid of all the modern and after.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually talked in my most recent video about how it's important to always be selling cards, trying to consolidate your collection, build it up to higher value cards, just so, like you said, space is a premium, and then there's this. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming to have so many cards.
Yeah.
And just get in the habit of selling cards, trading things in, moving things up. Like you said, you've been consolidating your collection down, and it's been good for you. It's
Yeah,
good advice for
ever since the
anybody.
beginning. It's 4 years of just constant selling, because I bought a lot of crap early on that I realized I didn't want for the long haul. Yeah.
All right.
What about you? Have you talked about the breadth of your collection yet, or do you just like
Not
to
really.
show some?
Not really. I just show
some
random
items?
crap.
Okay.
I just throw random stuff. I would say that in terms of dollar value, definitely biggest into unlimited and beta. I'm not too big a fan of the 4 Horsemen sets. Like I like Arabian, but I don't know. There's just something about Legends and Antiquities that just I don't know. They don't do
it for you?
They don't do it for me.
Okay.
Like I'm like you. ABU revised, like
the core set, the
core
OG
set.
core
Yeah,
set.
That's
the gem. Yep,
like I don't know. Like I just don't have like a strong desire to have like really high grade, high end Antiquities or Legends cards or something like that. And that's another one of the things that I think are one of the risks in the market. I've talked. One of the cards that I just like kind of randomly bring up and often on the channel is Singing Tree from Arabian Nights.
Yeah.
Like it went from like a $50 card to like a $200-$300 card.
Yeah.
And I just like, no way am I buying a Singing Tree for $300.
Yep.
No way, you'll never see me buy that.
Or
card.
like a living plane in Legends
plane.
for like $400 or $500. Whatever it is, it's crazy. It's like I don't even know what a living plane does. It's some weird green card. Why is it worth what it's worth? See, we kind of agree there. My holds from Legends and Antiquities are only items that I grade. So I'm buying them raw at obviously a really huge discounted premium off of raw because there's a bulk premium. I'm buying, 500,000 vintage cards at once or 200,000 or 50,000 vintage cards at once. And then, it just happens to be there's these cards there. I grade them. They happen to grade out well. Okay, I guess I'll hold on to them for a little bit. Let a little bit of age, set in on the label. Yeah. And then I'll list it and I'll move it. But if you're asking me, okay, wait. At the risk of sounding really elitist, there's a little ongoing joke within the high-end MTG community. It's that Antiquities is not a set with 100 cards. Antiquities only has 2.5 cards. Some say 2.25.
Vicious Workshop, Candelabra, and what am I forgetting?
Winter Factory.
Oh,
because Winter Factory is only a quarter of a card. Some people say it's worth as much as the other three combined. So Antiquities is literally those 2.5 cards. Like, what else has value in that set?
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Thanos' Coffin.
I mean, it's Thanos' Coffin. There's a couple more, like, what is it? Triskelion, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? The winter, the candle, the workshop, and the workshop overshadows the rest of that set. Like, there's no card that comes close to the workshop. It's like, do you really want to collect the other 97 cards that are uninteresting? Yeah. And that's what we say. But hey, to be fair, there are collectors, there are set collectors out there. I know 3 or 4 of them that have the whole set. And that set, I mean, the print quality of Antiquities was just so high. It was better printed than Arabian. It was definitely better printed than Legends, because Legends is a shit show. And the Dark. The Dark was even worse. The Dark was horrible. The worst. Oh, the worst of the 4 Horsemen. The Dark was like Ice Age Fallen Empire's print quality. It was horrible. But Antiquities, I would say, had the best print quality, minus a couple of exceptions. I think Colossus of Sardia, Summer Factory, Wall of Spears, and the Helmet, Urza's Meter. So those 4, if you want to get those 4 cards in 9.5, I believe the market rate is in the $10,000 plus range to get either of those 4 cards. And I'm like, that's where
population can really swing it, right?
Population can really screw you over.
Not a very valuable card, but if you're that set collector who needs it and you have thousands of dollars and you want to spend it on a Urza's Mitre or something, or Meter, whatever.
Meter, whatever.
All the more power to you. Not for me, no thanks.
And the worst part is I happen to know one individual that's truly got that evil investor mindset. And let's say, I forgot what the pop is because I don't collect it, but let's say Urza's Meter is like population 8. This gentleman has like 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, well, if anybody ever wants to collect this set, they have to go through me. And I mean, this is much more niche. Like something much more mainstream, like even Arabian Nights. You've heard of the light mana cards, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the BGS 9.5 Light Wolf.
Yeah,
and the BGS
crazy. I did a video about that wolf. Yeah,
yeah, and the Stone Throwing Devils. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think there's 19 Light Wolves and there's 21 light stone throwing devils in 9.5, and that means that there can only be 19 BGS 9.5 or better Arabian sets on the planet. And I would say probably 15 of those sets are completed, and they're not going anywhere. Like I personally know,
where
the
they
high
are, they're not going
net
anywhere.
worth individuals that are holding on to them, and like I said, those people will take them to the grave. That means how many actual light wolves are on the market? 3, 4, and they're not actively on the market. They're on the market. One guy might take 15,000 for one. One guy might take 20,000 for another one.
Wow.
The one guy out of the 4 available, maybe if it's really bad in the market and bills need to be paid, they'll put it on auction. And what happens? I think the last light wolf was at 12 or 14,000.
Yeah, it was a ton. It was crazy.
It was definitely a 5-figure number. I remember.
Yep.
And I know the guy that sold it, and I think I know the guy that bought it too. And it's like, you guys could have just texted each other. And
Yeah, I
been
remember I
done
looked
with
at
it.
that auction, and I remember looking at the bidding history, and it was just like two guys.
Yep, two guys bidding each other. And it's like the guy selling it knew both of the guys bidding against each other. It's like, guys, gentlemen,
they're all just sitting at a table together.
we could have just got rid of the middlemen, but
Yeah.
there's really that high of demand for those cards, and the people that want those cards, there's a certain like an alpha mindset too. It's about winning, and it's about, I want all of them in the best grade I can possibly afford. Yeah.
Yeah, not for me. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the core set that just that really does it for me. And then I also am a big fan of Silver Age. I'm actually can't do the math in my head right now, but I would say my Silver Age position in terms of dollar value is probably close to my ABUR position.
Really?
Actually. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of Mox Diamonds and Cradles and stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
Lion's Eye Diamonds and things like that.
I don't fault you.
Yeah.
In one of the high-end groups, despite this gentleman having ABUR, Horsemen, I actually made a video with him. We literally bought a 1.5 million card collection, and then we did a video on it, and we actually sold off the high end of that collection, like all the ABUR Horsemen, and we quadrupled our cost basis.
Wow.
And now we've got an entire lifetime to just swim through Silver Age cards.
Oh, so cool.
So it's just a lot of fun. And the reason why I mention him is because we call him the Silver Age Princess or the Ice Age Princess. He's like Princess Elsa because he specifically invests in 9.5 Ice Age cards.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, like that's his
what a
jam.
niche. There
Like
you go.
9.5 Ice Age cards. He's like, oh, I want to get a 9.5 set one day. And he bids up the Jester's caps. He bids up the Jester's masks just to collect them. And he's just crazy about Ice Age. So I don't know. There might be something there. You're not wrong. There's also a very prominent land collector in Europe. I don't know if you know the gentleman. Do you know of him? He's on Facebook. Very prominent. Only collects graded lands.
Probably recognize.
I'll mention him off camera, but he was in there bidding for any and all Ice Age, like Pain lands and the counter lands, like the depletion
River
lands.
Delta.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a market in there. There's a crazy market in almost every single category between, like, after the first 8, every single category starting from Fallen Empires up until like Judgment and those sets. I mean, there's definitely a lot of strong interest in Tempest, Exodus, Stronghold, plus the Urza's block. I mean, oh my God,
those are my favorite sets.
That's
my
your
jam.
wheelhouse,
That's my
right?
jam. Yeah, I love that stuff because it's like, I don't know, for me it's like I started playing in like '94, but that was like literally going to the comic book store and finding all the Dirkwood boars and crawworms and throwing them into a deck and playing with friends and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like 96, 97, get a little bit older, have a little more, allowance money, and like start really building decks and playing. And that was, that was Mirage Block. I remember the first booster box I ever got was a box of Visions, a box of Weatherlight. So that was like a real like coming of age time for me. I played a ton of Magic at that time.
You and me both. Those are my really competitive days. That's when I hit my competitive peak. Yeah, so I hear you.
Yeah, and it's also like the reserve list is there's cards in those sets from the reserve list. They're really powerful. They're still relevant today. It's crazy to see like people still going after survival of the fittest like it was printed yesterday. Like Commander just changed Magic forever. Like
it's powering Magic. It's keeping it alive.
Oh yeah,
it's keeping
100%.
The interest in the collector market. Yeah,
Wizards has pretty much become a Commander company now, and it's crazy. Like just a few years ago, it barely didn't even exist.
Yeah. I don't even think Imperial Seal is playable in Modern, right? Nope. Like the Masters might as well be like double Commander.
Yeah, double
right?
Commander.
Commander Legends followed by double Commander.
Yeah, everything is Commander now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think those cards have a bright future, and they're so fun.
Absolutely correct. I absolutely agree. Yep.
Nice. Cool, man. Well, hey, it's been great having you on, Saint. You're a legend.
Oh, please. Not even close. I'm just getting started with this whole collector journey. And I mean, quite honestly, David, I'm probably 20% of the way through screening my collection. So
really,
I've got
a lot more to come.
4x more to do in grading, I would say. Honestly, really, I'm just getting started. I can't find the time. I wish I could not have a day job and not have well, no, I love my family and whatnot, but if I had the time to commit, I would literally just be reviewing vintage cards and grading cards 20 hours a day. But who has that kind of time, right?
Yeah, neither of us.
Yep. All right, man.
It's been great.
Very good. Appreciate it.
Right on. Saint Hung. Later, guys.
Watch Fabled Hunters.
Fabled Hunters.
That was part 2 of our conversation. I had a really good time talking with Saint. It was awesome that he came out here, and I really enjoyed doing stuff like this, interviews with people in the community. It's so great to bring people together to talk about this passion that we have, this awesome hobby that we all get to enjoy, and just connect over, something special like the world of graded cards. So hope you enjoyed. If you're not already a subscriber here, hit that subscribe button and join in the fun, because we're going to be talking about graded cards all the time here on Gem Mint MTG. Till next time, have a great one.